What is going on, Colts Nation, and welcome back to another episode of Bring the Juice. Guys, the Indianapolis Colts travel to Berlin to face the Atlanta Falcons, and the Indianapolis Colts hoping to get back into the win column this week, avoid another loss here, and get back in the win column, forget last week in Pittsburgh, get a win before the bye. So we're going to talk about some keys here, guys, to victory if the Indianapolis Colts want to beat the 3-5 Atlanta Falcons and get back into the winner's circle. But before we do that, guys, just want to say this episode is sponsored by FanDuel. Guys, right now with the Indianapolis Colts, the Colts have a 6.5-point spread favorite right now over the Atlanta Falcons. The total over-under right now is 48.5 right now. So if you think this is going to be an offensive shootout, you might want to hit the over there. But if you think this is going to be maybe more of a defensive battle, be sure to hit the under there. But there are so many other things, guys, you can check out, like player props here for this game, and potentially a game where we maybe see Jonathan Taylor have a very strong performance against an Atlanta Falcons defense that can be had in the run game. So right now, when you're looking at Jonathan Taylor, it's 91.5 rushing yards. Do you think he's going to have over that or not over that? You can check that out and so many other things here when it comes to this Colts game and so many other games here in Week 10. So, again, shout out to FanDuel. Really appreciate their sponsorship for the 2025 season. Now, guys, I'm talking about three different things here that I think the Colts need to do. I think the first one the Colts need to do is they just need to get back offensively to their brand of football. I mean, the Colts really got away from what's been working for them in the past, right? They threw the ball a ton. Daniel Jones, over 40 pass attempts against the Pittsburgh Steelers. That didn't go super well, especially with the offensive line struggling. Colts turned it over 5 times on the offense. So they got to get back to their brand of football, and I think it starts with the best player in football. Jonathan Taylor, you have to run the football early and often in this game. You know, that's been one of the biggest things on why the Colts have had so much success is they've been able to be so balanced offensively from a run and pass standpoint, and they were not balanced against the Pittsburgh Steelers. So Colts got to play their brand of offense. They have to run the football, pass when necessary, and this is a really good Atlanta Falcons secondary as well. So Colts got to play their brand of football, though. Run it first, and I think if they're able to do that and get this running game going, that'll open up a lot more opportunities in the pass game for the Indianapolis Colts. So they can kind of play their brand of football that really helped them get to where they are now. I think they're going to be great in this game. I really do. And like I said, the Falcons have some pretty good pieces in their secondary. So if you can run the football effectively, it's going to open up so much more later on throughout the course of the game. So that's my first key. Just play your brand of offense. Just don't overthink it. Play your brand of offense. Give 2-8 the football a lot. He's going to have a bye to recover. So this is the time to give Jonathan Taylor maybe a little bit of a heavier workload in this game. But that's my first key here for the Indianapolis Colts. Play your brand of offense. Now, moving on to the second one, kind of in a similar way to playing your brand, you have to avoid the costly mistakes, especially on offense. 6 turnovers, you're never going to win. I mean, no matter how good you are, it's almost impossible to overcome as many turnovers as the Colts had against the Pittsburgh Steelers. It just doesn't happen, right? So for that, the Colts have to avoid those costly mistakes because we know the Colts can move the ball. We know they can do things on offense, but you can't keep having these terrible turnovers that just kill your momentum, that kill your drives. The Colts had momentum, and then they gave the momentum right back multiple times against the Pittsburgh Steelers. So they have to avoid the costly mistakes. If they can do that, play virtually mistake-free football again like they have done, I think they'll be good. I really do. Even if they only have one or two turnovers, that's an improvement. So as much as you possibly can, avoid the costly mistakes, especially when you have the momentum on your side. Again, this is an Atlanta team that has 5 losses already. So this is a team that's certainly reeling. It's a team that, does take the ball away. So you have to protect against the Atlanta Falcons as much as possible and not turn the football over in those critical moments like you did against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, the third and final key that I have here is I think you have to do as much as you can on the defensive side of the ball to disrupt Atlanta's stars, right? This Atlanta Falcons offense, it's been very uneven this year, but they are supremely talented. I mean, they have so many guys here that are very, very highly regarded in terms of talent. I mean, Michael Penix, very talented young quarterback. Bijan Robinson, one of the best young running backs in the NFL. Drake London just had 3 touchdowns against New England, so he's a very good young receiver. And Kyle Pitts has actually had a pretty good season as well. So there's really 4 guys on this Atlanta offense that you really have to account for. You're always going to have to account for the quarterback. You have to account for Bijan Robinson. He hasn't had a ton of success recently running the football, but we know what he's capable of. Colts have done a pretty good job, mostly in the last couple weeks, of stopping opponents' rushing games. So you have to do that again. And then also you have to be able to contain the 2 pass catchers for the Atlanta Falcons. Right outside of those 2 guys, the Falcons really don't have anybody who's done a whole lot in this game. Sauce Gardner being a part of this defense now gives you the ability to have him go and shadow Drake London all game long. And then now, you just really have to worry about Kyle Pitts, honestly. Maybe you put a safety on him. I'm not sure what you got to do. But if you can take away a few of these stars in the passing game, Atlanta doesn't have a whole lot going on, really, when it comes to that, at least through the course of the first half of the season. So if you're the Colts and you're able to do that, I think that's going to be great. One thing that's going to be interesting is Atlanta might be down multiple offensive line starters. Colts have been fortunate at times to have opponents who have really been down a lot of offensive linemen. There's been a lot of offensive line injuries in some of the Colts opponents they have played. So if that is the case again, Laiatu Latu's got to have another strong game. You have to have a strong game for your pass rush. You got to be able to get home early and often, disrupt Michael Penix, not allow him to get the ball into the hands of some of his playmakers. So if you can do that, guys, I think you're going to be golden in this game. Like I said, Atlanta, they're a losing football team right now. They've made a lot of mistakes so far through the first 8 games for them, but they're going to be hungry. They lost by a point against the New England Patriots. They're in that game. This Atlanta team, they certainly have a lot of talent, and they certainly, I think, will make this a good game. But if the Colts can do these 3 things, I think they're going to come out of Week 10 victorious, head into the bye with an 8-2 record, and that will set you up super well after the bye, potentially getting back a couple players, maybe going on a Super Bowl run. But that'll do it for this one, guys. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Again, shout out to FanDuel for sponsoring this episode and every episode in the 2025 season. But again, guys, that'll do it for this one. Let me know your thoughts on the keys to the game, any other keys that you might throw out here as well. But thank you guys so much. Really appreciate it. And as always, go Colts.